All right, let's get straight to it. There's a wild theory shaking up the beehive, and it's got people asking one of the craziest questions you'll ever hear. Is Blue Ivy really Beyonce's daughter, or is she someone else's? Yeah, I know, sounds ridiculous, right? But that hasn't stopped the internet from spiraling into full-blown conspiracy mode after Rymir Carter, who's been in the headlines before for claiming to be Jay-Z's secret son, dropped a comment that's got people reading way too deep. He hinted that his real sister isn't Blue Ivy, but a girl named Cathy's daughter. And that's all it took for the internet to catch fire. Now, if you've been around long enough, you know this isn't the first time folks have questioned Beyonce's pregnancy. The infamous baby bump fold moment? Yeah, that video's still floating around, getting slowed down and zoomed in like it's the Sabruder film. People swore up and down that when Bey sat down, her belly folded in a way that looked more like a pillow than a baby. Some said it was just the dress fabric bunching up. Others were screaming, she's wearing a fake bump. And honestly, it got so out of hand that even respected TV hosts were chiming in. Wendy Williams, for one, didn't hold back. She called the whole thing a publicity stunt meant to revive a fading career. But here's where the story gets even murkier. Because when you mix in Cathy White, a publicist with rumored ties to Jay-Z, the theories start turning from wild to straight up disturbing. Cathy wasn't just some random woman. She had real connections in the industry, ran her own PR firm, and was spotted in photos with Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Claudia Jordan. Then, just when whispers started swirling about her potentially speaking out about an alleged affair with Jay-Z, she died out of nowhere at just 28. The official cause, a brain aneurysm. But you know how these things go. Conspiracy theorists didn't buy it. Some folks online believe Cathy was going to blow the lid off a hidden child situation and that her death was too convenient. And when you add in that she was reportedly in touch with journalists and possibly planning to go on record, yeah, people started connecting dots that may not even exist. But that hasn't stopped the theories from growing, and now, years later, those same people are digging all this back up thanks to Rymir's latest claim. He's already made headlines for years trying to get Jay-Z to take a paternity test, but now he's tossing out lines that are pulling Blue Ivy into the mess, suggesting she might be someone else's kid. That hit hard, not just because it's outrageous, but because it reignited every single rumor people have tried to put to rest over the past decade. But here's the twist. This isn't just about whether the pregnancy was fake or not. This is about power, image, and the way Beyoncé has always handled her public life. She's never been one to overshare. While other celebs go live on Instagram and spill every detail, Bey plays it close to the chest. That's her brand. Mystery, elegance, control. She lets you see what she wants you to see, nothing more, nothing less. And that's what makes these rumors so explosive. Because when someone's that private, people start inventing answers. They look for any wrinkle, any shadow, any weird lyric in a song and turn it into gospel truth. Which brings us to something else fans can't stop talking about. Her song, Daughter, from the Cowboy Carter album. The lyrics? Dark, violent, full of rage. Some say it's a cryptic confession, others say it's just art. But the timing? Suspicious enough to fan the flames. Cathy White wasn't just a name tossed around in gossip blogs. She was a real person with a real career. Born in Louisiana, half Korean and half black, Cathy was sharp, ambitious, and had deep roots in the entertainment world. She graduated from Howard University, ran her own PR company called White Label, and rubbed shoulders with some of the biggest names in the industry. There are even photos of her at events alongside Kim Kardashian, Chris Pratt, and Denise Richards. She wasn't a nobody, she had access. And apparently that access extended to Jay-Z. Rumors began bubbling that Cathy and Jay-Z had more than just professional ties. Some claim she was his mistress, others say they were friends who got a little too close. But what makes all of this more intense is the theory that Cathy may have had a child, one that people believe could be connected to Jay. Crazy? Sure, but the people who believe this aren't backing down, especially when they bring up the circumstances surrounding her death. The timeline is eerie. A journalist named Liz Crokin, who'd been digging into the Jay-Z and Cathy story, claimed Cathy was about to go on record with everything. She was finally ready to talk, ready to drop details about the alleged affair and this supposed child. Liz said she spoke to Cathy multiple times, then out of the blue, Cathy stopped answering her phone. Days passed, no responses, no sign of her. And then word came through. Cathy was dead, found in her Manhattan apartment. Aneurysm, they said. Just like that. Now let's be clear, nothing's ever been confirmed. No police report has linked Jay-Z to anything. No official sources have said there was foul play. But this is the internet, and where there's smoke, people start throwing gasoline, especially when you bring up the idea of a hidden child. That's the part that keeps people obsessed. Because if Cathy did have a child, where's that child now? Here's where the theory takes a turn. Some folks online believe that this child was quietly passed off to someone else. And with Rymir Carter recently stirring the pot, people are asking, what if that child is someone the world already knows, like Blue Ivy? It's a wild leap, but that hasn't stopped social media detectives from going into full CSI mode, comparing baby photos, facial features, and family timelines. It's messy, it's speculative, and it's gotten traction. Then there's the photo. The one that supposedly shows Cathy, Jay-Z, Beyoncé, and Claudia Jordan together at a club. Some say it's doctored, others swear it's real, and in the age of deepfakes and AI-generated content, who even knows anymore? Still, it fuels the idea that Cathy wasn't just a distant associate, she may have been part of that inner circle for a time. There's also chatter about Beyoncé's lyrics being coded messages. Fans have picked apart tracks from Lemonade, Renaissance, and now Cowboy Carter, especially the song Daughter. The lyrics are violent, emotional, and raw. Lines about bloodstained couture and betrayal have people wondering, was that song a metaphor, a confession, a warning? But let's not forget who we're talking about here. Beyoncé is a master of control. She's built her empire by revealing only what she wants to reveal. She doesn't react to tabloids. She doesn't go on talk shows to clear things up. She drops albums. She performs. She disappears. And yet, that silence? It's deafening. It's what gives these theories oxygen. When Beyoncé revealed her pregnancy with Blue Ivy on the VMA stage in 2011, it wasn't your average celebrity announcement. She didn't post a sonogram or go on a talk show. She stood in front of millions, rubbed her belly, and smiled. It was bold, poetic, and instantly controversial. That moment should have been celebrated, but instead, it launched a decade of speculation. From baby bump conspiracies to hidden surrogates, people couldn't accept it at face value, and that says more about our obsession with Beyoncé's mystery than it does about any folding dress or blurry photo. Fans and critics alike have tried to decode every second of footage from that night. Did the bump fold? Was it a camera trick? A wardrobe issue? Maybe, maybe not. But for some reason, people latched onto it like it was the final clue in a global mystery. Doctors weighed in, fashion experts analyzed fabric, Reddit threads exploded, and the theory took off. Beyoncé faked the pregnancy. Someone else carried the baby, maybe even Cathy. There's no proof, none, but that's the thing. When a celebrity is as guarded as Beyoncé, people start to fill in the blanks themselves. Her privacy has always been part of the brand. She controls the narrative. From her art to her interviews to the rare glimpses into her family, everything is calculated. And in today's oversharing culture, that silence becomes suspicious. People don't trust what they can't fully see. Jay-Z, on the other hand, isn't new to paternity rumors. Rymir Carter's long legal battle to get him to take a DNA test has been public knowledge for years. Jay-Z's team has never acknowledged him, and courts have repeatedly dismissed Rymir's filings. But Rymir hasn't stopped. He's made it a mission, and now, by bringing Blue Ivy into the conversation, he's turned a personal quest into a full-blown media frenzy. Why target Blue Ivy? Maybe it's desperation. Maybe it's revenge. Or maybe it's a calculated move to trigger controversy. Either way, it worked. The internet took the bait, and suddenly, people are asking if the child Beyoncé raised so publicly could somehow not be hers.